Hello, everyone. My name is Alice Bowl, and I run the ScrapHappy membership group. And we're here for some scrapping today. So this event is called Scrapbook Live, and I literally just turned the camera on for about 2 hours and scrapbooks and stuff. But the great thing is that I use a kit from the Wild Hair Kits, and this is a custom curated kit. So you fill out your style profile, you get the stuff based on the things that you like, and it's kind of a surprise. So it's like the best of both worlds. It's things that you know you're gonna like, and it's that lovely little surprise. So it's a really fun way to shop for some scrapbooking things. The great thing is that the curator actually make sure that things go together. So you're not like, I don't know if that's going to work with this paper, and everything kind of goes. It'll be a couple of different lines usually. It's really fun. So I have a lot of fun playing with them. Beautiful supplies, as I will show you, and make some beautiful pages. I just filled out my journaling on my last pages the other day, but I don't know where I set them. That's bad. I'm actually, I know I put them on my piles actually, because I am doing the big album reorganization. I'm working on it in slow little pieces, but it is happening, so that's exciting. And I have these big piles of layouts. Okay, so let's show you what is in my kit, and I'll give you an idea. The kits cost $38.95 for the deluxe kit. So the deluxe kit is the large one, and then there is a smaller option, and I think it's like $19.95 or something like that. For this kit, she's like got this little section at the bottom that kind of tells you what the focus was. So for this kit, we focused on teal, pink, and yellow because I love those colors, especially together for scrapbooking, and selected papers with a playful vibe. We knew you had to have the small yellow alphas as soon as they came in because I have been extremely vocal in my love of yellow, and especially like alphas and stuff like that. And I've been excited to get them to you, along with the wood veneers, sequins, roller stamp, and travel phrases. Enjoy. So this is exciting. Oh, here's what she was talking about. Look at how cute these are. Oh, little tiny little, you can see how little they are like compared to my finger. Like, oh my gosh, those are cute. So that is fun. And there is a roller stamp. It is from the Saturday Afternoon collection from One Canoe 2. And it looks like it's a date stamp. So it has, just like nice dates on it. And it's like actually in the format that I like. I like it when it says like the name of the month and you're not just all numbers. So that is the date stamp. So that's really fun. I can use that over and over again on my pages. Here is some thickers. It is from the Summertime collection. What does this look like? This looks like Maggie Holmes, wouldn't you say? That looks like Maggie stuff, right? Sometimes on the thickers, they don't always tell you, but that totally looks like Maggie writing, right? Am I off on that? Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. And then we get into some, there's some chipboard in here. I'm gonna look at the, okay. So this is a cardboard cutouts, die cuts pieces, but it is from Chamel's Sparkle City collection. It's Sparkle City, right? So these are nice. I don't have these because I rarely buy this, but I like the texture. I like that they have all of the holographic foil on them. So those are fun pieces in this big frame. Oh, that's fun. Okay, so this is going good. Fun colors. They are fitting in with the things that I love. So we've got some of this Sparkle City collection, and it's like a cut apart sheet, and it says things on it like up and at 'em, dream big, dance it up, greatest, and then there's like a little line of banners, saving the day, give it your all, see the world. So it's kind of good for whether you're traveling or you're just hanging out. And we've got some cute little swirls on it. I like that pattern a lot. And it's nice and subtle while still having a very playful element. And look at this, a little cut file. Nicey nice. Look at the stars. I love that. That's super fun. And then I've had there's a stripe in here and some, see that pattern? I don't know what to call it. It's kind of like a floral with, oh no, it is a flower. I thought I was seeing it kind of different. It's a flower, but it has like big leaves on it. And this is from Dear Lizzie, It's All Good collection. And have a look at this. Like, you might not think when you look at this that this is gonna go like so perfectly, but you bring like this brick color into here, and then you bring the stripes, and that paper goes perfectly together. And so that's what I love about the custom curated kits, because I might not pick this to go with that, and yet it goes perfectly. Oh, this is super pretty. So this is from Pink Fresh Studio. This one's called Chit Chat from the Just a Little Lovely. And I think I saw some of this in my last kit, but look at this pretty watercolor. I love this. And look at this. Oh, and it has some words on the paper that say happiness, beautiful memories, enjoy today, seek, flourish, bloom, just as you are, go bravely, and everyday pursuits. So those are the words up at the top, but that's so pretty. And then also from Pink Fresh is this one here that has like a very pale, soft pattern. But then on the other side, we've got all of these little pie charts and clocks and stuff. So I like the geometric fun of that. And I said before, like, I don't buy a lot of Pink Fresh, so it's really fun to kind of get it in my thing. Oh, and Rue said, I love that painterly look. Oh, I know, that was like, oh, super fun. This one here is from the Pink Fresh Office Hours collection, and it's called Inspiration. It has lots of little details. And then this bold, like, was that almost like a color blocking? Would you call that color blocking maybe? So that's kind of fun. And from Crepe Paper, this is like a super like mix matchy. I like that. That's great. From Crepe Paper, this one is La La Love from Crepe Paper. And it has a super cute pattern. I love that little heart pattern. And then on the back is the strawberries. So I think it's really good to look at papers and really consider both sides when you're looking at them, because this, unless I was doing a page about strawberries or something really summery, I probably wouldn't use something like this. But this little heart pattern stuff, I'd use for anything. Like, it's gorgeous. And because it's subtle and it just has like these little pops of heart on it, like it makes it very easy to use. And then this one here is from Dear Lizzie, It's All Good collection. And it has all these little raindrops on it. Kind of fun. But look at the backside. It has this gorgeous ledger paper on it. And then you can just like add your journaling, add like one of those neutral layers that you kind of need between a couple of wild patterns sometimes. Ooh, I love that. Simple Stories Little Dude collection. So there's this side with the banners, and then this side has a lovely stripe on it. And if you look in the background of the stripe, you can actually see that there's like text, but it's like super faded and washed out kind of text. And then this is the last piece, and this one is from Crepe Paper, and it has this lovely little dots, pink dot. And it's from the Sunny Days, Maggie Holmes Sunny Days collection. But look at this one here. It has like these little beach umbrellas. She calls it beach umbrellas. And like it's totally like beach umbrellas. It could also be like those little drink umbrellas. Or it could just be like a geometric kind of circle pattern, like depending on how your page is leaning. So that's what's in the kit. I'm really excited. It's really funny though, because my pictures that I have are quite young that I printed. And they have animals, so I don't know, must have been a thing, because they weren't even taken at the same time. So I've got the first picture that I have is my nephew, and he caught his duck. They have some pet ducks, and he caught the duck, and he was holding this duck, and its name is Lucky, so Lucky Duck. And he's holding it, and it is a big fat duck, and he's caught it and he's giving it a big old cuddle. And I just thought it was so cute. I actually might dig out a picture of my son, Ryan. He was obsessed with chickens. And I have a picture of him that looks just like this when he was little, hugging a chicken. So that would be super fun for a page too. Probably won't do that today, but I don't know where to even look. Like when he was young, so it's like going in the archives. And then separate time. This is my other niece and Sarah, and she got to see this horse. It's not even her horse. She didn't even get to ride the horse, but oh my gosh, was she excited to see the horses. And they were picking the grass and feeding the horses, and they get to see them a lot because it's on one of their walks. So kind of cool. And that's the inspiration for my pictures for today. And it's just kind of fun to hang out with nieces and nephews. So I don't know about the Sparkle City. That might be a little bright, but there could be like little banners and different pieces that I pull from that. So I'm going to keep that handy. Move this stuff out of the way and get scrapping. So tell me, where are you and what are you working on today? Because I am in White Alberta, Canada. Yesterday was one of our nicest days that we've had all summer. And I know it's like not super summer anymore now that the kids are back to school, but it was one of our nicest days yesterday. I spent some time outside, managed to not get sunburnt. So I'm proud of myself for that. And yeah, I'm just sad. We had so much rain this summer and it just felt like we were kind of robbed. So to have a couple of nice days in the fall feels like it's a little bit of redemption, but not quite, if you know what I mean. Okay, I love, ooh, and we got the word summer on here. Okay, cool. That will work good. Okay, let's have a look. Oh, definitely these hearts, I think. And I might actually use some of this heart paper on his and some of the on hers. They're like nephew and niece on opposite sides of our family, like my husband's side and my side. But, and so we were hanging out at different times, but it just seemed like these were the sweet little pictures that I really wanted to get scrapped. Ooh, that blue is really good too. Oh, and I love color blocking paper. Okay. All the choices. Okay. I think I'll start with my nephew and go from there. Let's see where people are. Briella says, I'm actually scrapbooking while watching. She's near Seattle, Washington. Yay! I actually didn't see that you were here yet. I'm really excited. I haven't get to see you for a little while. And Ruth is in Michigan. It's a glorious fall day. I'm at an overnight crop yesterday and today working on older Christmas photos. Well, that's really cool. And Sharon is in Kansas, and we had a gorgeous yesterday too. And today she's back to the 90s and hot. Oh, are you bragging? Like, it is like overcast and very fall looking around here. Our leaves are changing so fast right now. I'm like, oh, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I'm kind of feeling like missing that whole summer. Teresa is in Georgia and working on a layout of her 3-year-old granddaughter's sonogram photo. I think we had over 80 days of over 90 degrees weather. So sick of it. Okay, so from June until the end of August, so over those 3 months, we had 56 days of rain. Like, I don't live in Vancouver. Like, we don't live on the coast. Like, that is unusual here. But yeah, 56 days of rain. So that's why I'm like complaining. Marcia says she's in Minnesota. We're finally having a sunny day after a very rainy week, but I'm scrapbooking and organizing while watching. Yay. And Sharon said, yep, me too. For like the weather, nice weather. Let's see. Marcia, oh no, I just read that one. Brielle says, yes, my name was my work name when I first logged in. Oh, okay. Because I saw a name and I'm like, I'm not sure who that was. Heather says she's in Saskatoon, Canada, and I'm doing schoolwork as I watch you all work on your projects. And Amanda is in Kansas with no evidence of fall. Well, you're lucky. And Danielle's in Johnstown, Pennsylvania. I hope that's right. PA, that's Pennsylvania, right? We're having a yucky rainy day here, and I'm going to be working on some base pages for photos of the zoo last summer with my nephew. And yeah, so that's awesome. We got people from all over, and that's fun. Okay, so I definitely want to use some of this heart paper because it helps to pull in like the red from my nephew's shirt. And it's funny that, you know, I've got like the reds and pinks kind of popping with this kit that's kind of designed around like the teal and pink and yellow. And yet there's enough in here that I'll be able to pull some of that red. And Mara's in Red Deer and getting ready to crop this afternoon. Well, that's exciting. Going off to a crop. I don't have a cutter. My friend came over and scrapped with me the other day, and I know there it is. I know she had it. Yeah, I was cleaning in my scrapbook room because I actually had to make enough room for my friend to scrapbook with me. So it was kind of funny. Finally got some organizing and cleaning up done. You know, just need that kind of deadline. It was fun. She was actually making Christmas cards. She has a couple of places where she's set up where she can sell Christmas cards and other cards. So it was good for us to get to hang out again. We haven't got to do that forever. Okay, let's see here. Let's cut that in half, and I'll leave the other half with my niece's photo so that I have that for later. And I really like this bold stripe. I think I'm going to take a little piece of that off. I'm going to cut this piece. Okay, so this was the paper from It's All Good, the Dear Lizzie. And I'm getting really excited. So I don't know if I've talked with you guys about this yet, but next week I actually leave. I'm going down to Park City, Utah, because I'm going to go to the Teresa Collins event. It's like create your story or craft your story or something like that. Don't quote me because I apparently don't know the name properly like I should. But I'm heading down to this Teresa Collins event, and I am super excited. I had friends that were planning to go on this trip, and they kind of invited me a little last minute, although I've known all summer. So it feels last minute most of the summer, I guess. Yeah, but going off to this event, we're staying at this swanky hotel. It's like amazing and costs a fortune, but it should be fun. And then we, there's actually two parts to the event. There's a part where you, ooh, is that frame? Oh, it's gonna be way too small. Yeah, too small. Okay. The part of the event is like this motivational personal development kind of session. But it's like optional. You don't have to sign up. So that's like for a couple days first. And then there's a day like where you can sign up for optional classes. So otherwise you just crop or whatever. It's like a free crop day or something. And if you sign up for classes, there was lots of great options for that. So I'm excited to see what that's all about because I signed up for some classes. Like it's like if there's classes to do, I'm like in. I love taking scrappy classes. Like I'm all over that. There, we got some words and some things. Okay, let's keep that handy. Oh, and this, so I can kind of plan some of these things into it. I'm gonna pull this out of here because there's writing on the packaging. I'm sure it's really extra safe having writing on the packaging, but it makes it horrible to see what's in the package. And I'm not too worried about little kids eating my plastic bags here, so. Explore sweet. Oh, sweet would that would totally be good. Okay, I want to use that on there. Yeah, he was so excited to catch the duck. He tried catching his other duck. He has one called Mr. Quackers, and my nephew is 9, just going into grade 3 right now, and Mr. Quackers he kind of looks more like a mallard duck with the green head, and for whatever reason he was okay with us like picking on Mr. Quackers a little bit more, but not on his other ducks. Like these other ones were his favorite. So he's like, if you're gonna catch a duck, just catch Mr. Quackers. But he ended up catching a lucky duck, and I know why. Like Mr. Quackers, they received as a gift from somebody like that had lost most of their ducks and had one left over, but he'd actually hatched out these other 4 ducks that he has. So I'm like, why was it that he didn't, wasn't as attached to this other one? But it was because he didn't actually raise that one from birth, but he did the other one. So. Okay, so I need some more layers, and I want to have something here. And I think I'm going to put the word sweet underneath. So, and that's just going to go on the side. Maybe I need another little piece that goes on the side there. Some more color. Banners is too dark. Too much pink. The raindrops. Okay, a little bit of that blue. Maybe. Let's see these cards. I'm gonna cut out this little brick piece. Let's see how that goes. Yeah, so I think that it's just funny, like watching him with his little ducks, and having hatched them, I can understand why he's like extra attached to those ones. But kids are super funny. Okay, and I want to try to use this little bit of brick in here somehow. Maybe. Maybe like that. Okay, I'm gonna cut this and turn it into like a photo corner, kind of like a giant photo corner. And then we'll see from there. Just checking for comments and stuff. If somebody's like, hey, Alice, you really need to do this, just yell at me and that'll help. Don't miss out on that. Great idea. There. Yeah, I like that. That's good. Could be a little smaller, I think. Okay, I think I will cut it a little smaller. Two and a half by 2.5. And then I'll go corner to corner on that. I don't think the top one has to change, just this one. And I think I need to go a little bit more. Now that I've cut it, I can just line that up there. Okay, let's go. Perfect. Okay. It gives me almost like a matte for the photo, but it's not completely matted, which is a good look, I think. Yeah, sorry, I know you can barely see that. It'd be really cool if I set up like another camera. I think it's possible, but I haven't really played with that. Maybe that's something to try. So I could like alternate between this screen and that screen. And yeah, then I'm sure I'd be like crazy and all over the place all the time, but could be good. Okay, I'm just gonna stick this down because I think that I need to commit this. And I can go from there. I'm trying to leave this one little heart in the corner because it's so cute. There. Yeah, so yeah, the Teresa Collins event. Pretty pumped about that. But did you guys see? Okay, so Scrapbook and Cards Today is one of the it's a scrapbooking magazine, and you can actually get the issues of it free every month online, or not every month. They don't publish every month, do they? Anyways, whatever their publishing schedule is, which I can't think off the top of my head, you can actually get it free online, or else you can actually order and hold like an actual copy of the magazine. But they just announced an event that they are doing May 1st to 3rd. It's their Crop and Create, and they have teamed up with American Crafts, and they are bringing in Heidi Swap, Vicky Booten, Shamel, and Paige Evans, and who else did I see on there? It was like all the biggies in from American Crafts. They were Amy Tan, thank you. Everybody else like Amy Tan, yeah, like all of them together teaching stuff and doing stuff at their Crop and Create event May 1st to 3rd in Toronto next year, which I think is over scrapbooking, like National Scrapbooking Weekend, right? Ruth says, I love having a real scrapbook magazine in my hands. It's such a gorgeous magazine. It totally is. And I've met the lady that runs it, Catherine Chatchin. I probably murdered her last name. I'm sorry, Catherine. But oh my gosh, like she is like on fire and just like a real go-getter. And like she's like one of those like superhero kind of people. Like if I was going to say I need a mentor in business, like she's one of the first ones I think of, just because she's just killing it and she's amazing. So yeah, she's put together this big event they're going to do in coordination with American Crafts. They have all of these amazing scrapbookers coming in to do stuff, and like I don't know how big of space they have, but I can imagine that is going to be like an instant sellout because that's super cool and super amazing. So yeah, just things to think about. And it was funny because one of my friends had messaged me the other day, and I know that the Scrap Gals are doing an event, and I'm pretty sure they were doing it that weekend. As far as I know, they were doing it that weekend down in Las Vegas. And like, so, you know, that was like something I was considering too. And I'm just like, oh, why does all the good stuff have to happen at the same time? It's not fair. But yeah, very exciting, exciting times. Here, awesome. Okay, so here's what I've kind of got right now. Is like my nephew is on there. I've kind of matted up the corners, and I'm gonna put it onto this background. I'm gonna add the word sweet underneath here. I've cut this little strip, and that's gonna go down this side here. And then, I think I like that. Yeah, so there's lots of good stuff. And Brielle says, and there's another great event in July, right? Yes, there is. Yes, there is. That is, she's referring to the Scrap Happy family reunion, and we are doing that. I think it's the second weekend of July. Is that correct? Feel free to correct me because we did announce dates. We haven't announced a place yet, but that will be coming before Christmas, that we will actually announce a proper date so that everybody can plan. And we have 3 locations on the table right now as to where we might end up going. All of them are good, which is making it really tough. Heather says, yes, that is the plan. All of them are good date, or all of them are good places. So I know that I'm like torn because I put a poll in the group and it's literally a 3-way split. The last I've looked at it a few times, like not today or whatever, but I've looked at it a few times and it's like 3-way split. Brielle says 2 of the 3 work for me. But yeah, I'm excited. It's going to come down to me just picking, and that comes down to like sorting things out and having boots on the ground and everything else. But I think all locations I had offers for that. So it's really tough because I know that by picking any spot, I'm going to be disappointing somebody because they're going to be like, well, I really wanted it here. I'm like, I'm sorry. You're allowed to like advocate for the one that you want to go to, by the way. Like, I'm trying to remain like, like in the middle for now because I just don't know. Like, so Portland is on the table, and that's like super exciting because I'd love to go there. Salt Lake City is on the table, and I have been there once, and it was amazing. Just once, yeah, I think just once. It was amazing. It was amazing. I loved it. It's kind of like the heart of scrapbooking. Like I can see so many good things for choosing Salt Lake City. So that's exciting. And then the other one is Baltimore. And I have never done East Coast. And I'm excited by the idea of going to the East Coast. Like, so lots of good stuff. There's nothing that's like, oh, not that. And I've heard like a lot of people advocating for East Coast in the fact that we haven't had one out that way, especially Northeast. Like I think before I started as the ScrapHappy leader, there was one in Florida one time, but that's a long time ago. Heather says maybe when you go on your trip, you could maybe see what would work for us. Hence, you can see that I'm thinking Salt Lake. Yeah, there is that, right? Like, having the chance to kind of see things in person is pretty nice too. So yeah, that's all stuff that's on the works for this next year. This year we went to Calgary and that was super fun. Hold on a second. Yeehaw! We went to Calgary and we had a super fun time in Calgary. And we had 3 different classes that we did. One of them is with a fabulous instructor that I know, Carla Youngworth, and she did a project for us that had a bunch of embossing. And so we were able to use embossing powders from Emerald Creek Crafts, and that's a local Calgary company. And then she talked with Kim Evans from Emerald Creek Crafts, and she sent over a goodie for everybody to take home with them. So we had little goodie prizes for that too. We also went, we also had Allison Day come and do a class for us based on color theory, and it was amazing. Like she wrote these blog posts for her home design, home decor, home paint colors and stuff like that. She wrote a blog post about color. And when she wrote that post, I'm like, you need to do this as a class for us. It's amazing. And so she did the class, and that was fantastic. And that was super fun. And then we also had another class. We had the Wild Whisper come in, and Susie was on her own. She usually has Heather too. Susie was on her own. She set up a pop-up shop on site so that we could do our shopping. And then we also did 2 pages in a traveler's notebook. So like 2 double pages in traveler's notebook. So super fun. And then in addition to that, Katarina Doyle from Creative Scrapbooker magazine came by and gave everybody a copy of the magazine, and we had our pictures taken with our hats, with our reunion shirts, and we are going to be in the winter issue. Like the fall issue of Creative Scrapbooker just came out, but we're going to be featured in the winter issue, so super pumped. I was like, really? That's exciting. So that's fun. And then we ended up, oh, I missed showing some things, guys. How did I miss this? It got tucked underneath something else. That's hilarious. I've never missed out half of my kit before. Let me show you this in a sec. Yeah, and then in addition to that, I reached out to Scrapendipity, which is a store in Calgary, and they have a mobile truck. So they brought their mobile truck to our event, and we get to shop on site. So you can be working on a project and be like, I need this and I need this. And they were there for several hours on our first day of the event. So it was perfect for picking up a few little odds and ends. And yeah, we'd actually done a little field trip to their store the night before, kind of before we got started. A bunch of us have gone over to their store, and yeah, it was really good. So fun times in Calgary. And we went to Calgary because everybody asked me to go to Calgary. This is also in my kit. Look at this. There's some cute little houses with hearts and like the little inside of the hearts. And then there's also some little sparkle. Now this is like one of those little packs that has like little mini sparkles in it. Little tiny little stuff. Perfect for shakers and stuff. And it's like super pretty. It's called Starry Dreams. It's from Spiegel Mom Scraps. Spiegel Mom Scraps is actually sponsoring all of our ScrapHappy sketch challenges all this year. So the winners that win our monthly sketch challenges get a little bit of something. I don't even know. Is it 1 or 2 packs? If you've won, let us know, because we've had a few people that have won already. Because it is, oh yeah, it's September now. Like, yeah, and actually we just had 3 new winners drawn recently, so that was exciting. Hello, Joyce. She says hello, everyone. Yeah, so that's exciting stuff. I want this. Does this have the word lucky in it? That would have been too perfect, right? If it had the word lucky. Oop. On here. Let me just double check to see if we got the word lucky on any of this stuff. Everyday superhero, delightful success, big go home. No. Darn, that would have been just too perfect. Too perfect. Okay. So I want to add some journaling. I was thinking here, but I might do it here instead, because that way I can say more things. And then I just need to kind of fill in a little something here. I don't know if I want to pull, I'd have to pull more yellow in. Let me see what I've got. Oh, I don't think I need that. I'm kind of stuck. What do I need here, guys? Here's what we got. It was like rolling along really good, and then I got distracted talking about fun things, and now I'm like stuck. So journaling, I could put it underneath the suite, or I could put it on this other side, which gives me a lot more space for it. Do I need more layers, like kind of sticking out of here, or do I need more layers attached here? feel free to like be like, Alice, how about this? I could do like my journaling on little strips down here, and then that kind of gives me a little space for adding some stuff. I'd like to write Lucky Duck on it somewhere. So I do have my little yellow words, but if I add yellow with the words, I need to add more yellow. Definitely. But I can do that with embellishments and stuff. Brielle says, can you use some of the chipboard from the sheet? Give some dimension and flair. Yeah, I was looking and there's some yellow and there's a camera and there's the word delightful. So that works too. And I think then there's like a balloon saving the day. There's balloons. There's a little camera. Oh, I like that up there. And then I can use my lucky duck. So I like that idea. Thank you. I know sometimes you just kind of reach this point and you're like, ah. So Missy says the horizontal element to pull the eye across the divide. So it's not like this side, that side, this side, that side. You know, I could just like fold my sheet up and stick it in a traveler's notebook just about right now. It's a little big, but something horizontal to go across. I love this. Ooh, I cut this strip off. That would be perfect. And that brings in some more of this yellow. And then I can build off some more embellishments there too. Yay, okay, thank you guys. See, this is good. And Vicki says you cut circles from the paper and place them on the right side. And now I can add some of these circles, right? Some of those ones. Okay, that's gonna work. And I can layer them so they're sticking out. And then I'll have room still at the bottom for my journaling. Okay, that's what we're doing. Yay! Crowdsourcing works again. Crowdsourcing to the rescue. Okay, let's see. Can I cut this in half or something and still get enough of the things out of it? I think so. Okay, so I'm gonna cut especially a few of those yellow ones. Look at me fussy cutting. Y'all know how much I love that, right? But I do it. I do it. Yeah. And so then I can have like little circles, and I think I need another little strip here. There's another little piece that's red. These are all like just cut off of stuff, so I don't think I'll use like the whole red one. I'll just like layer it. Oh yeah, that's gonna totally work. And it pulls some more of this red in there. Excellent. She laughs. She's like, haha, I made her fussy cut. It was all good. I willingly went along with that idea. Because it's not a super hard thing to cut. And I think this. Okay, last night we went to a hockey game, and we don't go to a lot of stuff like that. There is like there's NHL, and then there's like the next level down, and then there's like another level down under that, whatever that's officially called. You can tell how hockey I am. That's what they have in our town, actually. They've got like one of those next level down kind of teams, and you know, they're pretty good, I think. So we went to a game last night. Oh, they're scrappy. Their season is just starting. It was like the first one of their new season. So many little battles in the corners and scrapping it out. I was like, huh. And the other team was right in there for it. So it was interesting, actually. I haven't really watched a lot of hockey. My husband played a bit of hockey. He played hockey as a kid for years and had fun with that. is pretty good too, but overall the team was less good, so they didn't go very far. And one year, can you believe this? So he has a story. The one year his team qualified to go to this provincial tournament, and like it was like AAA or AA, Heather. I think that's what their team that they have in town is. But anyways, the one time his team qualified to go to this provincial tournament, and then to make them do better, this higher ranked team in the, like, it's in minor hockey. This other team, they brought in some ringers from the team to help them do better, but they didn't qualify in their own like division, but they brought them into their division to compete. Like, it was just, he was like, it was ridiculous because they didn't pass to us, and they weren't used to skating with us, and like they just sucked. They made our team suck. And then we lost. But he's like, it's because they didn't play with us. And like, yeah, but that's the kind of stuff that would happen in hockey sometimes. Yay. Yeah, but yeah, I did not really want my kids to play hockey. That was not something I was like, yay, my kid needs to go to the NHL. And my son Ryan, when he was like 5 or 6, he's like, Mom, I want to play hockey. And I'm like, ooh, okay. So I put him in a hockey camp. It was a 1-week hockey camp, and like he got on the ice and he couldn't really skate yet, and so he's terrible. Like, objectively terrible. And the other moms were all like, oh, don't worry, by the time the season's like, by Christmas you'll never know and whatever. But we hadn't committed that far yet. We were just doing this 1 week, and he was like miserable every day. And so I was really pushing for Taekwondo. I'm like, anything but hockey, basically. I'm like, fighting, it might be really fun. Come do Taekwondo. And he got to the end of the week, and he's like, Mom, I really love hockey. And like every single day he cried. I'm not kidding. Every single day. I'm like, what about this are you loving? Like, the people are really nice to you. That was good. But the rest of it was miserable. But by the end of the week, he's like, Mom, I really love hockey, but I think I'd rather do Taekwondo instead. And I'm like, thank goodness. And so we didn't do hockey. And the next year he asked me again. And by then I was like, no, like I'd seen what a week of hockey life was like with my other son running around the arena and hiding behind bleachers. And I'm like, oh, no, I can't be a hockey mom. Like, that just cemented it. Like, this wasn't gonna happen. And so at the end of that week, when my son said he wanted to do Taekwondo, I was so relieved. And the next year when he asked about hockey, I was like, I'm sorry, honey, you're too old. So I'm that mom. He was too old. Sorry, you're too old. You can't do hockey now. But I have never looked back and regretted that decision. So there you go. And it's funny because he came with us to this game last night. My father-in-law and his wife, my husband's stepmom, I guess. They had suggested going to the game, and I was like, yeah, sure, that sounds fun. John was like, it does. He doesn't like to watch hockey. He was like all about playing it back in the day, but watching it apparently isn't fun for him. And yeah, so we went to the game. Ryan came with us last night, and then afterwards he was like, I think I would have enjoyed hockey. I'm like, ew. That just wasn't happening, hon. I think I could have enjoyed hockey. You might think that. So if you have kids, Did they end up in a sport that you were like, oh boy? Or was it like all super fun and awesome with the whole kids and sports things? Or were your kids like totally not into sports and you're like, whew, dodge that one? Because I think the sports are great and I think that you learn a lot through doing sports, but yeah, it was just not happening for us as hockey, which is funny because my husband sure didn't push it either. He's like, oh, it doesn't matter, I don't care, hanging out at the rink all the time. And he played hockey, so you'd think like, you know, if somebody's going to be like on board for this to happen, that he'd be the one. Didn't care, which was good because turns out that was not my thing. So nobody has any sporting horror stories of my kid just couldn't help but want to do this horrible sport that we just didn't love. Just me, huh? I'm okay with being that mom. I think if I cut this off of here. Okay. Okay, I think I've almost got this. This one's gonna go here. And I'll cut a couple more of these. Okay, let's see. Sharon said, we were bad. If they joined, they had to stick with it. Well, that's good. Like, I didn't consider hockey camp joining. I considered it trying it, right? It was a good way to try and see if that was a good commitment for us and if he even would like hockey or anything. So yeah, but after that first week, and do you know how horrible tying skates is? Just saying, it's awful. Like the parents that were like dedicated in there tying like skates for 5 kids, like I don't know how they have hands left for starters, because that stuff just shredded my hands trying to tie those skates. And yeah, it's different when they're a little older and they tie their own skates, I guess, but at that age you got mom in there tying skates for you. Okay, this is taking shape. I like it. I like it. And a little piece there, and I need one more little piece. Maybe in green or pink. Okay, well, after this one is on and I get this finished, we'll do the draw for our prize. Yay. Let's see. Sharon says, I'm talking about softball. If the team was bad, keep playing. The parents were worse than the kids. Oh, yeah. My kids did some outdoor soccer, and we had one season where the kids didn't win a single game. It was painful. It was just bad, but the kids played, you know, and it was like, whatever, this is part of being on a team. Somebody wins, somebody loses. Apparently you guys lose every single one. But of course I didn't say that to them, right? Like, it's just like, go out there, you do your best. And if they're better than you, well, let's keep practicing. Yeah. But yeah, it's tough having a season where you don't win at all. Marcia said, we did 20 plus years of boys and men's gymnastics. I loved it and I miss it. Although we still go to college gymnastic meets, and my husband and 2 of my 4 sons are now judging. That's so cool. My son literally has just said he wants to buy a set of rings and a parallel bar. He wants a parallel bar so he can do parallel bar stuff. Like it's more like in weight training kind of tricks and stuff that he wants to do. But I was like, okay, where are you gonna set that up? Like part of my house. But like he did gymnastics a little bit, but their program here just, they didn't have a good setup for boys, let's just say. Like it was very much a balance beam, little girls, like tumbling, like I don't know, like it was fine, but they didn't have any competition, so you couldn't go past our town. Like they didn't have that level of stuff for gymnastics. So even the kids that were super talented, like they weren't going anywhere with it if they wanted to, right? And at some point you just want to compete, right? Like Vicky says, our boys loved baseball and band, so that was all good. If they would have wanted to play football, it's definitely would have been a no. Excuse me. Yeah, and you watch, that'll be like the screen capture that's like the suggested screen capture for this episode. There's in the middle of a sneeze. Yeah, I wasn't a big softball person, so we never really got into that part, but yeah. It's just funny like how you gravitate to different things. Even with my kids doing the swimming, like I didn't compete in swimming as a kid. Thank you. Bless you. Yeah, I never competed in swimming as a kid, but I just like going to the pool and so that ended up turning us into a swim family. Who would have thought? Yeah, it's funny how life kind of leads you in different directions and you just don't know. Marcia said, we kind of lucked into a great program from the very start. They spent all of their years with the same coach. Yeah, and if you like the coach, like, and have like good rapport and you like, you feel like they're doing a good job and stuff, that's amazing. I know, like, I try to be that kind of coach, but I'm sure like there's some kids that I'm not the best coach for, just personality wise or technique wise, or who knows, right? But I love it. I love the coaching side of it. I love like the swimming side. It just became this world that we tried it. We tried the swimming and it kind of stuck. It was one of the ones that actually stuck. Oh, that wasn't stuck down. And then when they didn't have a coach the one year, all of a sudden I'm like, well, I can swim and I can learn. And then I was like, great, you're hired. And so then I became a coach too, and turned out that it was wonderful. So I loved it. Okay, gonna trim some little edges off of here. Gonna add the words lucky duck, and then I'm gonna leave the journaling for after. Here. I don't think I need that there. Okay, looks good. Let's see. Oh, all the way until college. Oh, that's cool. Same coach till college. Man, it says, one year I bribed my son with any activity he wanted to do in our town if he didn't make me drive to the next town to do 8 a.m. Saturday basketball. My husband was working weekends at the time and my toddler was miserable sitting in the gym. Plus the roads weren't always cleared of snow and ice at that time. That's super funny because I totally get it. It's like, yeah, we just do something here. My older son, like he did swimming when he was little and that was fun until he got a little older and then he wasn't interested anymore. And, you know, while I tried to respect the fact that he wasn't interested in swimming, um, I just gave him instructions. I said, okay, well, if you don't want to do swimming, just find something else that you want to do. It doesn't have to be a sport, but it can be. And, you know, if you figure out what something else that you want to do, just let me know. We'll get you signed up and you can do that instead. And, you know, I suggested everything, right? Like we get like this community brochure and it kind of talks about everything that's available, like golf, and like nobody in our family does golf, but I'm like, well, maybe you'd like golf, maybe you'd like this, like maybe you'd like that. Like I'm trying to give him all these options. Like there's a chess club. Like whatever, I don't care what you do, just do something. And he just wanted to sit at home and play video games and be miserable, so that wasn't gonna happen. And I said, if you don't pick something, I will pick for you and you will come to swimming. Like that's, you know, that's easy. And he's like, well, I'm not going to swim in the hour-and-a-half group. And I said, oh, fine, I'll put you with the coach that does the hour group. He'll be happy to have you. And he totally was. He was so great with him because he didn't pick anything else. And I said, okay, then off to swimming you go. But we, you know, we lived within that parameters. He didn't have to swim in the group. So he was swimming with kids that were like just way younger than him, but didn't matter. And then he didn't compete that year, but that was fine as long as he was doing something. Sitting home by yourself and playing video games just wasn't the option. Like I'm not anti-video games. Like, you know, my husband likes them, my kids like them. Like I've played video games and I've enjoyed them, so I wasn't anti-video games, but I just felt that that can't be your whole life. Okay, these letters are going on. They're looking adorable. And there, this kind of worked out really good. Oh, I wonder if there's anything else on here that needs to go onto here. No, I don't think so. Oh, there's a couple little hearts on here. I'm gonna do a couple little hearts. There. Okay. Good, good, good. Okay, I'm gonna hold this up. Oops, this moves. Oh, I didn't glue that down. It was just tucked. Okay, well, in a second here, I will hold this up. We will look. I will be like, yay, it is good. And then we will do our draw. Here we go. So there's sweet little lucky duck. And I'm going to put the journaling down in here. And I've got this little part. The idea of these circles, that was perfect. That was Vicky, right? So thank you. Thank you, Vicky. That turned out wonderful. Really, really cute. And there we go. Oh, trash here. My fussy cutting. Okay. Looks great. Thank you. Okay, so let's bring up my list. It says we have 21 in the house. I am one of them, so that means 20 today. And random number generator. out of 20 and generate. 3. Okay, 3 is 1, 2, 3. Danielle. Danielle, Brielle, and Amy are like, oh, so close. Danielle, you are our winner today. So congratulations to Danielle. Can you please send me an email to support@scraphappy.org? And that is the one. It's for Danielle. So please send me a thing. And if you type in here, that way I know. She says, oh, wow. Yay. Okay. Yes, please send me. It's support@scraphappy.org. .org is the important part. So awesome. Congratulations. And there we go. So you will get to go to thewildhairkits.com. I'll send the info to them and she'll send stuff back to you so that you can pick you set up your custom style profile. You get to fill out the information about the kinds of papers and the kinds of stuff that you like and what you don't like. Like the kinds of stuff. Like one of the things like I don't use a lot of is buttons. So my thing says no buttons, right? Like just not something I enjoy using on my pages. Like it's not like I won't use one, but I just don't. And yeah, so you kind of go through, fill out your style profile. If you've never tried a kit from the Wild Hair Kits before, super fun. You saw all the fun stuff that was included, including my little embellishments that I forgot to show you in the beginning. But yeah, like it's fun. Like I said, this kit is the deluxe kit. That's what you'll get as well. You'll get the big kit. There's a deluxe and I think a petite. The deluxe is $38.95 plus shipping, of course. Yeah, but it's fun. So, and then you're not tied in. So like you think of it like a kit club, but you're not tied in. So it's not like you order something and you're like set up every month, every week, every whatever, right? Like, so yeah, it's lots of flexibility built into this. Danielle says, I can't believe it. Thank you so much. I've never gotten one before. Yay. Well, that's perfect. It's the perfect time. And Lynn says, are you going to do a live scrap every Saturday? I like the idea, but no, I do it once a month and I would like to maybe do more, but I can't commit to doing more right now. So if that opportunity comes up where I can say, yes, I can do more, then I'll see about it. But I can't commit to that yet. And she says she loves the Wild Hair Kits. Yeah, they're fabulous. The email again is support@scraphappy.org. So the website for the ScrapHappy membership group is scraphappy.org. We are an organization. We're a group of scrappy gals, and we do different challenges and different events every month. So ScrapHappy is the place to find us, scraphappy.org. And one of the big things that we're known for are our load challenges. That's the layout a day challenge. And we actually have one coming up in October, but it's only for ScrapHappy members. Like the ones we do in February, the one we do in May, and the little mini one that we do in the summer are open for other people to come and join us. But the one that we do in October is just for members. So looking forward to that. And this time our theme is inspired by Tom Hanks. So super fun stuff for that. So that's yeah, that's what's happening there. And yeah. Okay, so moving on, I'm gonna start my next page with my picture that I put up here. Yes, there it is. Okay, and I saved some of this paper and I'm tempted to do something similar. So let's try something really different rather than going similar. So let's have a look. Ooh, there's like cute pink dots on there. Oh, and I really liked that blue swirl. I love this painterly stuff too. Okay, I might use this as my background on this one. Okay, there we go. So yeah, for my next page, I have my niece, Sarah, and she's with the little sweet horse. She was so excited. It was super sunny, so she's kind of squinting, but you know, it's adorable. It's a kid photo, and it was sunny, so what do you expect? And I used to worry about stuff like that when I took photos. Like, I don't know what you're like, but the lighting, it was harsh because it was like high sunshine and it was super bright. And I could worry about it, or I could just not worry about it. So that's what we do. Yes, Daniel's like, thank you so much. So much fun. Okay, I think what I'd like to do is take the little hearts out of here, and maybe I can make them red. I think that would be extra cool to be on here with a little bit more of that red. And let's have a look. Okay, these ones don't have anything on them. I love the strips that have stuff, and we saw, like, I used 2 of them on here. I really love it when they have those little strips that have stuff, but I've got some here that don't, so sad. Oh, I did cut some of this. So I'm going to use some of the same exact papers, I think, and pull in some different things. Cool. I think that's going to be fun to use some of those exact papers, right? Because I've used like a strip of the stripe, and I've used some of this heart, and if I use some of those again, then we can kind of see 2 different pages, and that'll be fun. I'm kind of done in different ways. This is still my first cup of coffee. It is not super hot anymore, but turns out that's not holding me back. I love this color blocking paper too. No, I'm gonna use the watercolor one. And ooh, I'm gonna use a little bit of that. What else can I use on here? Saving the day, save the world, and counts it up and atom. I can add a little bit of purple in here. That might be really cool. Ooh, what can I use for these words? Let's have a look here. I like this little arrow, and I think that frame is going to be too small again. Let me pull it out and have a look and see just how it would size on this photo. I could always reprint the photo a little smaller. Maybe I should do that. What do you guys think? If I reprint the photo just a little smaller, it would fit into that frame a little bit more, and that could be really cute, especially with that paper in the background. Okay, so let's just do it. It's easy, right? It's easy. That's why we have this stuff like right here at our fingertips. And then why don't we make it easy for ourselves? So her photo's right here, and I can custom size the photo. There, this is fun. Make it just a little smaller. And so the inside of that frame, let's measure it quick so that I don't make it too small. The inside part of the frame is just over 3, like 3 1/8. So if I do a 3.5 width and it's just under 4, so 5. There, I think that will look good. print that. And that'll be done here right away because my printer's right here. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to take these little hearts and I'm going to make them red. So I don't want the houses. I'm just going to take these little hearts. I'm going to use those as little sprinkles on the page. Now, red, red, red. Let's see, a pen. Let's use a pen. These are some Jane Davenport. Those are red. That should work. There. So when you have wood veneers, do you ever color them to give them, you know, a different color or to give you a different look on your page? Just a question. It's something I used to do a lot. The other thing I like doing with wood veneers is embossing on them. So you have like that shiny plasticky coating. Love that. Because sometimes you just don't want like a natural wood grain kind of look to it. So I don't know how many I want. I'll do all six of the pieces, because if I don't want them to be red, they're double-sided and I can just use the other side that's not red. There we go, and the picture's ready. And it was really cute when we were at Jonas's brother's place. We went last weekend and we took our motor home and we parked it in their backyard. And then we had a beautiful sunny day, which, you know, in fall, we were like happy to get some of those, being that we missed out all summer. And yeah, the kids were playing and having fun. We went for walks. Like, it was totally beautiful and wonderful. And yeah, I just had like this little piece of summer that we felt like we'd missed out on there in the fall. And there we go. Put those off to the side. Stuff there. Okay, so here's my photo, and I can trim that down, and now it will fit in that frame, so I can use that to be framed a little bit. This is the joy of printing at home. If anybody doesn't print at home, oh, my scrapbooking changed a lot once I started printing at home. So for a long time, I actually would make my layouts, and I printed the pictures with a laser printer, just like black and white laser printer. And then I would take that picture that I wanted and write down the size, like 4x6, 5x7, like whatever it was. And then I would print those at Walmart or Costco or wherever I went to get my pictures developed. And then I'd get a whole bunch done at once. And then I'd go back into all my layouts and put the pictures back in, because I really liked the flexibility of deciding what size I wanted in that moment. But I didn't have a good photo printer yet. Now that I have a good photo printer, like, I love it. Like, I don't know if you can see, like, this photo is like super good. The quality of the video isn't good enough to show you how good the quality of the photos is. Like, you know, it's a cell phone photo, yes, but it's also like, it's pretty good. So what kind of printer do you have? I have an EcoTank 2750. So it has like these great big tanks of liquid ink, and they're amazing at how long they last. I literally haven't had to change them. I've had it for well over a year now, and I print a lot of pictures. So it's just been like a game changer for being able to print stuff all the time and have that. So that's been fabulous. But then also, it's not running out of ink because it's this EcoTank. EcoTank, it's like an Epson EcoTank 2750. I will tell you, when I got it, the first picture I printed was horrible. And the next picture I printed was also horrible. And I had to go into the settings, like in my computer, into the print settings in my computer to kind of set up like a printer profile. And once that got done, then it printed beautiful. But getting to the print settings that were actually good was a nightmare. But now that it's done, it's amazing. Okay, so this is just a little too big at the top still.
Do you ever feel like it is like if you have to reprint a photo in a different size, and then like what do you do with a picture that you have that's the wrong size? You just throw them away, or
I have just thrown them away now. Like I feel now, because like I would never have done that before, but now I feel pictures are less precious in the fact that I can print it and have it in my hand like this. Because it's my niece, I'll probably I've got some other mailing to do, so I'll probably pop it into an envelope and throw it in the mail for her because she'll be excited to have that. Because she's like 12, right? It was funny because while we were there, her little sister had asked her mom for a photo album about her, and she's 6, right? Like it was so cute. She wanted a photo album about her, and so my sister-in-law just grabbed one of those little, plastic things you get at Walmart or the dollar store for $1 or whatever, like with the little slide-in pockets, and proceeded to just make her a book, right? It was so easy. She had access to all of her photos right there on the computer. She had a printer and she just made her this little album. Like it took her like 20 minutes or something, but she found her some pictures from when she was a baby, and she was talking about how sweet and cute she was when she was a baby, and like she loved it. Kids love having that physical picture. Like we love having those pictures, right? When you get to see this picture, like, oh my gosh, it's like so sweet. But like the kids love it too. So yeah, being able to just have that stuff and have it in your hands, that's amazing. Like I'm so glad that she's as into it as I am. This actually was the first girl in our family, the Sarah, and so when she was born, I made her baby album. Well, kind of. I made her first 5 months album, and I had stuff, like the album was this thick, and I had used everything pink, sparkly, fluffy, fuzzy, shiny. Like if it was girly, I finally had used it because I have 2 boys. And I just had the best time making this book, and it was only the first 5 months of her life. I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't keep going because it's already cost me like $500 for this book, and there was no end in sight, right? Like, where do you draw the line? I'm just like, I have to draw the line at 1 book, but it was fabulous because I had the best time making it. She had this lovely book to look at from like the first 5 months of her life, but they gave me like full access to all their photos. And I was just like, adorable. I want to do it all. The biggest difficulty was that her dad loved wearing orange t-shirts. And here's this sweet little baby dressed in pale pink with him wearing these obnoxious orange t-shirts. And I'm like, so two solutions. I found some paper that had pink and orange, and that was a lifesaver because that really helped us to do lots. And then when I couldn't make that work, I turned some of them black and white. Like it was just like, no, I can't do another with like this freaking orange shirt. Like, and it's funny because like my younger son loves orange, my older son loves blue, so those two, like the complementary colors, that's like match made in heaven. Thanks guys. Like it was perfect. But Yeah, this stinking orange t-shirt, and it was like he had, I don't know, like 12 of them or something, because it was like he was wearing them in every picture, I swear. But yeah, found a way around it. It worked out. Yeah, fun. It was fun. And for me, like getting the chance to play with all of those super girly things actually inspired me to make my own album about my own childhood, because I'm like, girly pink girl that loved to wear dresses, that's me. So why do I not have a book about myself? And so that's when I actually made my own book about myself. And do I have more pages to add? Absolutely. I would love to add even more stuff. I am all the time. During our recent load, like the mini load that we just did, I made pages that are going to go into my book. And I may have like 3 or 4 books, but who cares? Whatever. That's my life. I can have as many books as I like. Although I did just see, oh shoot, what group was it in? I saw on Facebook the other day, this woman had put, she says, I've never put all of my scrapbooks in one room before. And she took all of her scrapbooks and had them all, she had like this big bookcase. And what did she have? Like 200 scrapbooks or something? Like it was insane. Like it was so many. I was like, wow, how does she even like, that's amazing. Like, and some people are like, that's a lot. And I'm like, are you kidding? That's amazing. Like, you just have to appreciate that she's doing something she loves. She's telling her story. She's using her pictures. She's doing her stuff. And she's made that many books. Like, that was so cool. So I was really excited by that. Because, like, obviously she enjoys it. So, perfect. Okay. I think I'm going to add some random words into the background of this one. So there's all these like little handwritten words, and I think I'm going to put them across the whole background. So I'm going to stick down this paper here and put those in the back. Ruth says it was a Scrap Girls. It was like a library wall. Okay, yeah, I couldn't remember where I'd seen it. I've had a couple different groups that are popping up for me lately. Yeah, so on the Scrap Gals, there was a woman that posted, and it literally was like an entire wall just filled with scrapbooks. It was amazing. So thought that was really fun. But yeah, kind of like amazing but shocking in a way. And it was like, wow. So yeah, just, but if you're productive and you're making a bunch of stuff and you're doing it regularly, like you could see, they've had discussions like in that group about what to do when you have too many scrapbooks. I'm like, is that a thing? Like, I don't know. I just don't connect with that. Like, too many scrapbooks. What is it? What's that? Like, obviously she had a lot, but why does that mean it's too many? Like, I don't know. Like, maybe every page isn't as important as other pages, but like, how do you say that you have too many? Like, I don't know. I just thought that was a strange conversation. I guess like some people have more space issues, but I don't know, like who couldn't find place for something that's like super important in their life? Like, I would rather have a wall of scrapbooks than another couch or something like that, right? Like when it comes down to it, I guess that's what I would think of is, what would I make room for in my life? And that's one of them. Danielle says, that's awesome. I can't imagine having that many done, but it's still awesome. Yeah, I have like these big piles of layouts right now. And like there's 5 piles. I've kind of got them divided into categories, and I kind of have to subcategory a couple of them. But they're going to go into these albums that are here behind me sitting empty right now. But I'm working on it, so I've got them into categories now, so that's kind of good. And I'm excited by the fact that I have that many. Like, that's a great thing for me. Sharon says she has 40 or 50 finished albums. That's so cool. And you know, like when you look at that, you don't think, oh my gosh, like I'm gonna have to stop because I need like because I might have too many, right? Like I literally don't understand that conversation. Like that whole thing. Like, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna use these words. And I'm faking the fact that it's summer a little bit because it technically wasn't summer. It felt like summer though. Yeah. Sharon says about 15 are trip albums. Oh, I love making trip albums. Those are like maybe the best because, okay, here's why. There's always my advice when somebody wants to start scrapbooking, and obviously you're all scrapbookers, so you might not need it, but I'll tell you anyways. When you start scrapbooking, do not start with your wedding. That is my number one piece of advice because that's where everybody wants to start. Oh, I really need to scrapbook. I'd love to start. Like, I need to do my wedding. So everybody thinks that that's where they should start. And I'm like, no, that's not where you start. But yeah. Anyways, don't start there. I'm like, start with a project that has a finish. So when you go on a trip, it has a beginning, yay, we flew here, or we hopped in the car, and it has an end, we came home, right? It's like that stuff in the middle, that's your trip, but at least it's like this contained thing. Like, you can have a ton of photos within this contained thing. Like, it's easy. You go to like, you know, Disney World or wherever, and you're taking like a million photos, but you know, at least it has a start and it has an end. But yeah, like, do not start with your wedding. That's always like my first piece of advice. But trips are so good because having that start and end just totally makes it so that you can kind of plan it out. You can sit down and say, okay, first we did this, then we did this, and you can like just like, I like to sit down with the album and, you know, like I go through and number like my trip is like, we got pictures from this and this and this. These are all the highlights that need to be covered. This is what's going to go in the book. Trip scrapbooking is awesome. Yeah. But inevitably, when people come to scrapbooking, it's, they always like, yeah, I should do my wedding. Like, don't start there. You don't know how to scrapbook yet. So why would you want to do like your most precious photos? Like, learn a few tricks about scrapbooking first and then do your wedding. Like, I think that went down a little bit too much. Oh, I don't know if these are going to stick. They're not sticking very good. Why aren't they sticking? These are going to need extra adhesive. I hate it when they need extra adhesive. Brielle says, even after about 18 years of scrapbooking, I still don't want to tackle my wedding, which was 22 years ago. I'll confess, I haven't done mine either. But
No.
I think now we approach it with so much more perspective, right? Um, oh, was someone else talking? Is that Brielle?
I was talking before, but nobody could
Oh,
hear me because I was muted, I guess.
Marcia.
Yeah, so
Okay,
I think I finally got myself unmuted everywhere.
hey.
Um, no, you can go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh no, like it's all good.
Okay. I was gonna say, my oldest granddaughter will be 4 in December, and I was there in May during load actually, and so I did some scrapbooking with her and her older brother, and I mean, of course, with them it was all about as many pictures and as many stickers as you can get on a page. But the pages turned out cute, and so I started an album for them there, and it only had like 4 pages in it, because that was all I had there. And we were creating them. But every morning when I would get up, she would be sitting on the floor with that big 12 by 12. She liked the big album. She would be sitting on the floor and going through that album, that just the 4 pages, and she would go over and over, and she just loved it. And so I told her that for her birthday, there were a couple pictures, a couple pages about her that maybe I had brought another album with me that of what pages that I had done since I had last seen them. And so she would go through those, and she would go through this new one. And so there were some pictures of her, like her birthdays and just some other ones. And so she wanted a scrapbook about just her. And so I told her that for her birthday this year, I will make that. So that's my goal during October load, is to get a scrapbook put together. And I probably will take some of the pages that I've already done about her, and either duplicate them or copy them and have them printed, so that I can put those in also, so I'm not having to redo everything, because I don't think she necessarily cares about. She likes the sparkle, and she's all about pink and purple and sparkles. So she likes that, but I don't think she necessarily has to have the dimension in there. So I think a copy of them will be fine for her, at least on some of them. But so that's my goal. So that's where, because I had 4 boys. So, and I am not a pink and frilly kind of person. So I have scrapbooked in blues and greens and browns and oranges and yellows for years. And then all of a sudden I had all these kits that had lots of pink, and it was just sitting. And then I started having granddaughters, and I actually have 3 granddaughters, which just kind of blows me away. But and so I've gotten to use it. The youngest one is she's not like a pink, and her mom is not a frilly pink and purple kind of person. So her scrapbook pages are a little different, but the other 2, who are sisters, have lots of pink and sparkle.
It's
Get
fun
to
to
use
get
up
the
all that
chance to
stuff.
work with that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, and to clean out some of that stuff too, to get rid of some of it. So 'cause I won't use it anywhere else. But they're fun. They're pretty fun. So
That's awesome. Well, I'm so glad that you shared. And it's just funny, like seeing the kids look through that stuff and like have that, like see how important that is to them. And I'd
yeah.
say even more now than even like 5 or 10 years ago, kids are less connected to actually having a picture of themselves that they can hold. Like the only pictures they've held of themselves are literally like on a phone, like when they're holding a
Right.
phone.
Yeah.
But you take a
And
picture
that was
of the kid, and the first thing they want to do, let me see. Let me see. They always want to see immediately when you take a
even
photo.
adults are like that, really, when it comes to it. But that was her older brother, who was 5. He's very mechanical, so he has loved my camera since he was not even a year old. He would just play with the buttons and push buttons, um, and it was really cute. He had asked me to bring, or I had brought my camera because I knew he wanted to use it. And I guess last time I saw him, he had said, Grandma, can you bring your little red camera, because my DSLR is bulky for him, even this, he's getting bigger, but it still is bulky for him. And I have a little point and shoot. And so he had said, can you bring that one with you when you come? So I did. Well, he used a little bit of it, and then his sister wanted to use it, of course. So, so he did end up. I switched my lenses, put a small lens on my DSLR. So he had that one, and she had the other one. She's very rough and tumble. He's real deliberate. I have one picture of them that is just so indicative of the two of them, because he's got my camera and he's like close up at a tree or a leaf or something where he's just real still and concentrating on what he's seeing. And she's running through the yard with the camera swinging behind, which I'd put on her wrist, swinging behind her. I'm like, that is just so the two of them. But he loved, I had a little printer with me, and so he loved to print out the pictures, partly because he likes to push the buttons and play with that, but also it just gave them the pictures to have. And so I did the same thing, got just a real cheap little plastic photo album and just stuck the pictures in there that I hadn't used, that he printed, and left that with them. But yeah, they love the pictures.
Yeah.
And adults are kind of the same way. They look at them too.
It's true. It's
Yeah.
totally true. We always think, oh, we're beyond that childhood phase, and then you see people actually interacting, and we're so much little kids.
We are. Yeah.
Well, thank you. Do you have anything for show and tell that you wanted to show us?
I am still in the middle, but
Okay.
actually this one's taking me a while. But this is a project. This is page 1 of 2. Let me see if I can pick the other one up. I have little captions that are going on there. But this,
Perfect.
yeah, it kind of looks right. This is a project that I've been doing now for, I think, 5 years, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yeah, so 5.5 years. Every month, and today happens to be this month's day, I have everyone in my immediate family send a picture from the day. And it can be anything. It can be a selfie. It can be something that they're doing. It can be anything. And then I scrapbook them. And so I have 5 years of once a month, because they're all spread out. And at the time that I started it, some were in Minnesota and some were in Ohio. And now they've kind of shifted. And so we're just real spread out. And so it's a fun way to reconnect once a month with the pictures. And, we connect obviously more often than that, but once a month things are recorded. And I have to say, every time my kids come over, my oldest will be 31 this week, and down to 27, and then 2 are married and 1 is getting married in 2 weeks.
Exciting.
3 weeks, yeah. And then the other one is not married, but so their spouse is involved too. And every time they're here, whenever they come here, that's the book that they look at. They just like to go through them, and they'll look back, and it's fun to see the little ones grow up. My oldest grandson was 2.5 months old when we first started it, and now he'll be 6, he's almost 6. So it's just real fun to watch them grow up, and they like looking through it. And I try and keep it pretty simple, because they aren't interested in all the fluff. They just want to see the pictures and the captions. And so I think it's gotten simpler and a little more template-y. Like I kind of follow the same pattern. I've had to go from a 1-page spread to one, because we didn't have as many people.
Yeah.
Now we're up to adding our 13th. And so I've had to go to a 2-page spread to just give myself room. But
I was just going to ask
it's been a really fun project.
A lot of 2-page spreads when you were showing it, but now I see
Yeah.
the purpose behind the project.
Right, yeah. I
do.
do.
It is such a cool idea, Marcia.
Yeah.
So cool. And Sharon said the same thing. Like, what a cool idea.
Yeah, so, I don't even know where the thought came from originally, but I started it, and they just all love to do it. And they, sometimes we get to the end of the month and I'll go, I won't even remember. And one of my younger boys will say, Mom, did we have photo of the month yet? And
so do they just pick any photo from the month? Like,
no, we try and pick a photo from that day.
Okay.
So I tend to do weekends. I don't always. Sometimes I'll pick a random day in the middle of the week and they'll say, there's nothing going on. I'm like, that's okay. Just send a picture of work. My second son, for a while in the beginning, it was kind of funny because his wife was looking at the book one day and she's like, Evan, you send the same picture with a different background every month. It was like a selfie of him and whatever happened to be behind him. And so several of them were at work. Sometimes it would be from one side, sometimes he'd be facing the other direction. And then another month he happened to be at a retreat or something that was on a lake. And so it was the same photo of him with a lake in the background. It almost looked like he just photoshopped a different background in each month. But now he's gotten a little bit more creative with his, but so
he had to get called out on it.
yeah, I hadn't even noticed that, but it was really funny when she pointed it out because it's like, yeah, it is like the same face, the same expression, always smiling, pretty much always smiling, but yeah, just really funny, same angle every time.
That's really fun.
But yeah, it's been super fun, and it's super fun to look back at them and just see what we did, and you go, oh, I forgot we did that, or I forgot about
and
that.
Again, it's a great way to connect to your family that's not close together, right?
Right.
Everybody's story is still an important part of the family story.
Exactly. Yeah. So we just keep it simple and once a month, and so at least I have one layout a month too.
I just had some memories come up, and when my older son got his job, like after high school, he went up north and worked at some northern schools doing their IT stuff, and he sent me a first day of school photo that year.
Mm-hmm.
And my other son was going up to his grade 12 year, so it was really great because I had that first day of school photo for both of them still.
Yeah.
He was going off to this thing, and actually this is the first year I don't have kids in school, although my younger son just signed up as an apprentice. He's going to apprentice for immigration like my husband, so I guess we will get some kind of back to school eventually. He doesn't have a date for his program yet, but it's apprenticeship, right? 10 months of apprenticeship and 2 months of school for 4 years.
Okay.
To do that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Well,
mine were pretty. Yeah, mine were pretty good about sending first day of school pictures when they were in college too, and I wouldn't necessarily think about it, and it would pop up in my text message. And go, oh, that's right. It is the first day of school. So it was nice that they did that. So
that's awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, it's fun.
Does anybody else have show and tell before I forget to ask? Because, sometimes I forget that. Does anybody else have some show and tell that's like either like type in or just turn your volume on or like take the mute off and you can pop in and do some show and tell for us? That's always good to see if anybody else has been creating and wants to do little. Danielle says, yes, I do. Perfect. So let's put you up. I think I can hear you.
Probably.
Yep. Cool.
I said I was doing the base pages for the zoo with my nephew. I can move the
that is fun paper.
Well, he's 4.
Yeah.
So you get to use fun stuff. So there's that one, and then this one. I mean, it's not done, but they'll go.
Oh, those are great. That is so fun. Oh, and dinosaurs.
There's a big glare.
Shamel has a new line out right now called Field Trip, and it has dinosaurs and astronauts and stuff like that in the collection. And I was so excited to get some of it because we just went to Drumheller in Alberta, and it has all this dinosaur stuff, and I posed with my nieces like with lots of different dinosaur things, and I was like, yes, I get to use some of that collection.
Yeah, he's little, so I like getting to use the little stuff. But you got that paper from Little Dude.
Yep.
I got that whole collection last year for Christmas from my sister-in-law, my nephew's mom.
Yeah.
Because I said, oh, there's this collection that's out that would be so great. So I got the whole thing. She got me the collector's edition.
That's perfect.
Yes, I love it. I just used it the other day. It should be right here. Yep. I just used it the other day on this.
Oh, that's turned out so good. So good. Well, and I love like when you can get scrappy gifts from people that are very specific, because I don't know if what your experience has been like, but when people are like, oh, you scrapbook, here's this present, and you're like, thank you.
When am I going to use that?
It's like stuff from like usually like a million years ago from Michael's that they got in the clearance section, and you saw it like 12 years ago and you're like, I would never use that. So it's always good when it's either like a scrappy friend or somebody that was really specific, or I'm like, yeah, that's
my sister-in-law will ask me like either for Christmas or my birthday, because they're only a couple weeks apart, if there's a collection that I want, and she'll get me that.
Yeah. Like, I don't want to sound ungrateful, but there's just some things you just don't use.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much, Danielle, for some show and tell.
You're welcome.
Karen says that she can show, but she's doing some journaling. Okay, well, we'll wait for you. It's all good. And, oh, someone's knocking on my door. Hello, come in. Hi, Ryan. I'm on my live thing. Oh, come and show this. So yesterday, he was filming some video, and he went into our pond, and I said, don't go in there. You're going to get covered in these little bug bites. Look at his belly. Tuck your head down so they can see that you're not just like, abs. Yeah. But he's covered. His legs are covered. His body's covered. Oh, you look horrible. Your mother is always right, just so you know that. I knew this would happen. Oh, he looks terrible. But okay, so funniest thing, he may or may not have I'm like breaking the curtain, but he may or may not have a superhero connection. Let's just say. But if you I'll post it on Facebook or something. I'll post it in one of the groups. But there is a guy named Bubble Man on YouTube, and one of his videos has like 2.6 million views. And Bubble Man does different little tricks. They're very short, like less than a minute videos. But Bubble Man may or may not have been filming a video in a pond yesterday that had bad reactions. Oh my gosh. Okay, Sharon says she can show. But yeah, I'll share a link to Bubble Man below. Can I hear you, Sharon?
Did you turn on the?
Yeah, I think I can hear you now. Good. I'll put you up.
Can you see it?
Yes, I can. Perfect.
I started from scratch. I didn't even know what pictures I was going to scrap. So after we were already on, I printed them off on my little printer.
Perfect. See, isn't it handy?
What?
Printing at home, it's so handy.
Yes. And I don't know how you work with letters. I always have a hard time.
Oh.
See
I stick them on the edge of a ruler usually. Like these ones here were really little, so I didn't. But usually I stick them on the edge of a clear ruler, and then I line them all up and stick them on.
I tried that, and I still have problems. But my journaling is going to be like a little square white on a black square right there. You think that'll somewhere in there. But this is about a day I got lost and found something that I never knew existed all the years that I lived here.
Oh, wow.
So it's just a journal page about me, something I did.
And exploring. That's really good. So exploring in your own backyard.
Anyway.
That's wonderful. Well,
Thanks
thank
for
you
the
so much for
inspiration.
sharing.
I did it because you had this.
Well, that's awesome. Yay! I love that. Okay, let's see here. I'll go here and let's see, pin this up. Missy says, I love those stories. Like where you like find something in your own backyard. Yeah, and Brielle says lovely colors. Yeah, it's very striking, very bold with like the stuff, but it looks like the art looks pretty bold in the pictures. So okay, so here's the last one that I'm working on. I'm just adding some of these words in here. I'll have some journaling that comes down here, and then I'm gonna sprinkle in like those little hearts in the background. So that's gonna happen there. But I think we're kind of near the end of this. I've got to wrap it up. Thank you so much for joining me today. I have such a great time doing these Scrapbook Live sessions. It's because, you know, it's a community. It's getting a chance to scrapbook with friends, even though they're friends from afar, and it just makes it so much fun. So Di says, thank you, you're so much fun. If you are watching the replay of this, then you can come and join us for the next one by signing up for the emails at scraphappy.org/subscribe. And that will take you to the subscription thing. You fill out the email thing. I don't send a lot of emails. Like, I don't have time for spammy stuff and sending out a million things. If I'm sending you something, it's because it's something that I think will be useful or that tells you about something that's happening and going on. So that is always my plan. Lynn says, thank you. I look forward to seeing you again in October. And Ruth said, it was fun scrapbooking with you all. So yeah, thank you so much for coming, for participating. And thank you so much to the sponsor of our giveaway, to the Wild Hair Kits, for giving away our kit. Congratulations to Danielle. And you have to be here live to win, and that's just part of it, but we ship them out to anywhere in the world, so it doesn't matter where you live. Come and participate, hang out with us. It's really fun. Marcia said, thanks, I'm glad I could be here this month. And Sharon says, thank you, Alice. Brielle says, this was great, always. I love this so much, and I love that it gets me doing the scrapbooking because it's so easy to, you know, get distracted on other things and planning other things, doing other stuff. Like, it's nice to sit down and actually just make pages, and I love hanging out with friends for that. So it's really fun. Okay, well, thank you so much. And if you're interested in ScrapHappy membership, if you're not a ScrapHappy member yet, I saw lots of the gals that are, but if you're not, you can check out membership at scraphappy.org. We do have our load challenge coming up. It starts October 1st, and it is going to be inspired by Tom Hanks. Really excited. He has like a great catalog of stuff that's going to inspire our pages. Of course, we don't actually scrapbook about him. We scrapbook inspired by him. So it's going to be a fun month of scrapbooking, and come and check out membership. So Danielle says, thank you. So much fun to be here this month. Thank you for giving us your time. No, thank you. I love it. And so it's great to hang out with friends. Okay. Happy scrapping, everyone. And bye for now.